Alright, ladies and gents, this was not exactly planned today, but it's how it went down. Ugh. Well, it's kind of annoying. Very annoying, let's be honest. Nobody wants their stuff released ahead of time, but it's better that than letting it sit around for God knows how long with people speculating, because that's even more annoying. That's extremely annoying, in fact. So, without further ado, I guess I'm going to present to you what we were going to launch tomorrow, but have launched early. Guess that's probably fine. We're going to need to bug test the hell out of it anyway. I mean, we've been doing that for the last year, but you can't replicate the experience of a lot of people hammering on the game on different setups by just doing internal testing, so we'll see where it goes. I'll be doing Q&A throughout this particular show, and of course, if you're quick enough, you can get into a lobby with me. If you wish to play the game yourself, AxiomMod.com is the place to go. That's AxiomMod.com. That'll give you all the information you need. Alternatively, you just go into game, click custom, click arcade, and search for Axiom. And there's 3 maps. For a year. How long has this been in the works? For a year? I thought the year was the clue, mate, but never mind, apparently not. I create a game on Mech Depot. There will no doubt be a lot of things we need to fix over the next few days, as well as a lot of balancing and so on and so forth. Those who, of course, wish to join the Axiom group, we do have an official Axiom group. We haven't advertised it yet. I'm going to push people to that. It's on NA. I'm playing on NA right now, so it should be available on NA and EU servers. We'll play Terran for the time being. Cool. Yep, that's how it should be. Make it public. There we go. Running a short delay on the stream just to try and obviously avoid stream snipey bullshit. Because yes, people will actually do that on a mod, if you can believe it. Like I said, Q&A is what we'll be doing throughout this show. And I'll be sort of demonstrating how things work. Why is there a 15-second game start on this? I guess that's what they added in the new arcade mode. I wish they'd changed that. That's not something we can change. That's something that they'd have to change. So first and foremost, what is the purpose of the whole thing? Well, the purpose of the whole thing was to make a version of Starcraft 2 that people who were intimidated by Starcraft 2 can play. To remove a lot of the barriers to actually playing the game in the first place. To setting up something that was a little easier, a little less demanding, and a bit more focused on the things that a lot of people used to enjoy about RTS. People have interesting ideas about RTS. About what RTS used to be. About what RTS currently is. But there is one thing that is certain. In order to play StarCraft 2 to an even reasonable level, you have to do a bunch of, well, pretty demanding things. I really need to space these tips out a little bit more. We can turn these tips off, actually. I don't need those running. And as a result, we're like, well, what if we made a game that is what they think RTS is like, rather than what it actually is? Let's have a look at some of the older games, and let's see what can actually be done with that. And in this case, we came up with Axiom, and the first fairly noticeable feature you probably notice is that everything's now at the bottom of the screen. You don't have to select an SCV anymore. Like, that was one of the first things that I really looked at with the game. Said, you know what? Why exactly do we have to select SCVs as often as we do? Why do we have to go in search of an SCV, select the SCV, click the thing we want to build, maybe click a different menu entirely? Why do we have to do those things? And I couldn't really come up with a good answer. Other than the idea that, well, it's always been like that. So, kind of came to the conclusion that, you know what? It's something we can get rid of. Let's do something that allows people to build from anywhere. Just using a very simple 3-tab interface down the bottom right here, which is exactly what we've done. You can control everything through these 3 tabs. You can roll through them with a mouse wheel. You can build whatever you want, whenever you want. from wherever you like. And there's nothing really standing in the way of you doing that. We changed the economy around. We've created a pay-as-you-go economy as opposed to a pay-up-front economy. Oh, wow, okay, that doesn't work. Interesting. We need to fix that. So that morph bug is actually more severe than we thought in the first place. Oh, we'll work on that.
The add-on is finished, so you have no excuse not You've built a fancier command center.
Is that completely balked? Oh, wow. How do we manage to mix that? Huh. We'll definitely do something about that. I can probably do it manually. Yeah. There we go. And in this case, that's kind of how we did it, is through the system down the bottom, trying to automate as much of this as possible. Having the SCVs come off the line when we need them to, having them go back when they need to, having the game actually track actively what's going on, making sure that you don't need to worry about having too many workers. I don't actually give a shit that Dungeons 3 is out. It's like, yeah, we'll be working on this for a year. Let's talk about some random bullshit game. Yeah, I don't really give a fuck. And it is a lot easier just to manage all of this, and even with the pro gamers that we had testing it, and the people that have never played a game like this before, like, well, you know what? It is actually a little bit easier. There we go. It's a little bit easier to manage, but the economy can be a bit of a pain sometimes. It's very easy to overspend, which is deliberate. We didn't want to completely gut the economy. We didn't want to make it utterly uninteresting to manage. We just wanted to make sure that if somebody says, I want to build something right now, the game doesn't tell them no. But the game can say to you, you know what, you are really spending far too much here. So we created the pay-as-you-go system, which is similar to Total Annihilation to Supreme Commander. And if you want to build 5 command centers, build 5 command centers, but know that you're going to be in serious trouble economically if you actually try and do that, for fairly obvious reasons. You do not want to be doing that. Need to... I thought we'd sorted this out. I guess we haven't. Huh, that's strange. I'm gonna have to figure that one out as well. I thought we'd had the ability to cancel construction
The add-on is finished, so you have no excuse not to build
of workers, which apparently we currently do not have.
Upgrade complete.
To allow it actually, if you build on the high ground. Generally speaking, like, it's not something that maybe a casual gamer would do. But the fact that that's actually happening is a little odd. We'll have to do something about that. We'll be setting up a subreddit for feedback to fix a lot of this stuff. Because there are definitely a few things that do not work the way they're supposed to. Like that, for instance. That is definitely a thing that shouldn't be working that way. There we go. Definitely need to get that sorted out. And in the meantime, I've been slacking up on my macro. You can very much still do that. As much as I'm sure some people think that it makes the game incredibly easy, it doesn't. Starcraft 2 is actually a pretty hard game. But some people have not noticed, somehow. Which is a little weird, really. It's like, well, isn't the game hard enough? For a lot of people, yeah. It really, really is. And it doesn't need to be any harder.
That's fine.
Voice pack works just fine with the mod. Any of the upgraded skins and such should. Yeah, auto depot as well. I mean, they're not really depots anymore, they're walls. Supply is built into a few different things. Your CCs, your production buildings. We wanted supply to naturally increase with your production capacity in a way that makes sense. Not having dedicated supply buildings it simply came down to the fact that I don't find dedicated supply depots to be interesting in any real way. I don't think they're a particularly interesting choice of things to build. People like building cool stuff. And, well, a supply depot is not a cool stuff. I'm sorry, it's not. It's a building that gives you supply and is necessary. God, this is actually super broken. What the hell happened to this? Yeah, the transformation system is completely screwed. We tested this previously. I don't know why it's not working. It's gonna select pause. We're gonna have to relay this information back over. Oh, I'm not really sure how we actually... it may be the wrong version got released. This got rushed. It wasn't supposed to. This is one of the things where, like, we played this game yesterday and none of this shit happened, and now it's happening. Lovely. Glitchy, glitchy, glitchy. Well, thankfully, I mean, these are the kind of things that we can hopefully fix quite quickly. Ah, okay. Yeah, I see the problem. So basically, we made a change yesterday that was supposed to fix an issue with lifting buildings if you are too close to the side of a thing. Okay, well, that's pretty severe. Maybe we should revert that, like, now. Yeah, we put a change in yesterday that was kind of rushed, and we were supposed to test today, but didn't get tested because of the leak. And apparently that change broke a lot of shit. So probably the best thing we can do is to immediately revert it, re-upload to a new version, and then go from there, because this has actually broken a severe amount of stuff. Very strange. Huh. Alright, well,
Back to the carnage.
I guess we're going to be doing a little bit more bug testing.
Liberation is at hand.
That's for sure.
Yes, sir.
There's a lot still to be done, because apparently we broke a bunch of stuff. I don't know why I'm surprised. Oh, jeez. I mean, at least I can build add-ons the old-fashioned way, but Jesus Christ. Yeah, we really fucked that up. I've got my dev reverting the change that we made. Because the change was a very situational kind of, well, situation. And that situation isn't actually a big deal.
The add-on is finished, so you have no
So,
excuse not to build
until we find a better fix, the best thing we can actually do is to revert that fix entirely. There he is.
add-on complete.
And then re-upload a new version.
That's fine.
Which thankfully doesn't take that long. Floating a bit of money. But easy enough to catch up on that, thankfully. You might notice we have a production tab at the top. We nicked that from GameHeart. This is a very nice little function. And we're like, well, why is it that we can't do that. Like, is there any good reason why regular players don't get access to things like a production tab? And we couldn't come up with a good reason. Like, generally speaking, no. There actually really isn't a good reason for that. People should know what they're building at all times. So we set up a situation where that's exactly what they will be able to do. And they can do it through this little movable production bar. It's kind of neat. You can also click on it to take you to places, which is handy. It means like there's less need to do things like camera hotkeying. May have also noticed we've got some new rally point systems. I didn't like the idea of having to re-rally absolutely everything every time you built a new production facility. I thought that was kind of silly. So we had the game automatically track when you add new buildings. Sorry, I'm just trying to focus on also not dying here. So we said, you know what, let's try and set it up so that the game tracks this kind of thing. So we don't really need to worry about that ourselves. And then, from that position, you can just use these 3 global rally points to bring new units across the map, even if you've added new production buildings in. Which, as far as I'm concerned, is quite a nice little quality of life feature.
This better be good.
When it works. There we go, so they're all sort of auto-rallied there. So in theory, anything I now build from the factory should actually come directly across. If you build a bazillion units, well, I mean, do you have the production capacity to build a bazillion units? If you do, cool. But when you do, if you overspend, then everything grinds to a halt. Simple as that. You've got income and expenditure right here. That's going to show you how much money you have and how much money you're making per second. Now, if you end up spending too much, then you run out of money, and basically your economy grinds to a halt until you have enough money to continue. It's really as simple as that. Like, it's not the first time a game has done that. Command & Conquer did it. TNA did it. How are such mods regarded and handled in the eSports scene? It's not an eSports mod, it's irrelevant. It's not designed for eSports, it's designed for casual play. Stim pack's almost done.
Attention. Course set.
Research is done.
We're returning fire.
Out of
Stim to win.
Yes, sir.
Where's the emergency?
I can bring in our mines from there. Should do the trick. You want to see what happens when you overspend? Yeah, I can do that. Assuming this guy doesn't GG out immediately. Well, it would involve me getting, like, a shit ton of SCVs.
You should reconsider your building.
Let's say I built, like, 8 command centers. It's not meant to train people to play Starcraft 2, no. There's no intention of doing that. Yes, what we want to do is make a version of the game that looks enough like the regular version, where you can play this, have a little bit of fun, maybe watch some eSports. You will not be trained to play Starcraft 2 by playing. It's not a training mode.
That geyser is fresh out of gas.
So you can see the amount of money going down here, and I can add just like more CCs there if I need to. And obviously it takes a while to exhaust the amount of money, and it's spread across the build time.
Mineral field depleted.
So you can see it going down pretty heavily. I have actually quite a lot of gas in the bank, mostly because I played with less gas-heavy units. So once I hit 0, I think it's going to be like, what the fuck are you doing? You need to stop right now. And it's going to slow everything down with crawl. There you go. So that starts pulsing, and these start pulsing. Everything is now slowed down to a frickin' crawl. So, if you want, you can fix that by either cancelling buildings, like that, or just by making more money. This happens across the board. If you play Zerg, and you decide, I'm going to build 61 roaches, but I don't have the money for it, you're going to find those roaches are going to take a while to come out.
remember when this...
So that is something to be concerned about. Can't crawl to the forge. You should be able to. That's an interesting bug. Pace of the fights is a little slower. The pace of the match, I think, is a little quicker. Because you can get started right off the bat with a production building. Start building things pretty much immediately. Can you pause a build? No.
You did expand.
No, we don't have the ability to do that. Like, basically just don't overspend.
Roger that. Yes, sir.
In theory, you could pause a build by just taking the SCV off it and going back later. There's no, like, button for that, but you could do it. Well, Zerg's been tested. We've tested everything. It's just a change we made last night fundamentally broke quite a lot of the game. So we're looking to kind of get that updated and reverted so that we can work on that. I said the game wasn't supposed to release today, but someone had to go digging around the site and get past the splash screen, so it's our own fault. We shouldn't have even mentioned the site in the first place. We thought, hey, there's a splash screen up. We won't need to do anything. Ah, that's bullshit.
I'm on it. Looking forward to it. That's fine.
Okay, you can leave now. There we go. Right. Well, I'm gonna find... Yeah, I'll play Zerg as well. I'm gonna find out exactly... Okay, so what's this... situation on reverting that change? Gotta find out how long it's gonna take them to do that. No new units now. We didn't screw with that. Obviously, the balance is screwed with because we doubled the HP on everything. Build orders are changed, but that's gonna happen when you mess with anything. Try to change as little as possible. We want it to look like pro game. Or if you took that UI away, we wanted people not to have any idea. It's like, hey, this looks like a regular game of Starcraft 2. Even though it's not. And that's okay. Yeah, double HP cracklings are a severe upgrade. Double HP everything is a severe upgrade. When it comes to balance, that'll get shaken out over time. Can you rebind keys? Well, I mean, you can rebind keys the way you can rebind keys in anything. The game has the ability to do that. Alright, I'm gonna queue up and I'll queue up Zerg and see if we can find any more wonderful, wonderful bugs. No, not for Desert Strike. If you want to play it yourself, just look for Axiom and you will find it. Things are a bit tankier. Did we actually just update? Looks like we might have. At least that version might have. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, we're already at 1.1. It's like, alright, we're updating already. Well, we'll see what this does. Open this up to the public. The main goal I want to achieve in terms of gameplay. Well, I mean, we wanted, again, to make a version of StarCraft 2 that looks like StarCraft 2, feels like StarCraft 2, but is a lot less demanding than StarCraft 2. Oh, did we revert? Yeah, we might have. We'll see. I'm not taking any questions that aren't to do with the mod, so don't bother asking. It was really down to, like, I mean, I've been casting StarCraft for God knows how long, and I... you know, completely frankly, don't find it fun to play because it's too demanding. So I wanted to make a version of the game that wasn't. So we did. Pretty much. Because I think there's a lot of people that are like me that enjoy StarCraft 2 as a spectator esport. Think, oh, this is really neat. God, I wish I could play it, but it's too hard. And it is. It's really, really difficult. Like, there's some people that are never going to be able to get past that. So a lot of it was down to like, look, how can we get past a lot of this by changing the UI around? You're not seeing any drones hatching. They're right here. It's just building them at a very specific rate. At least I bloody well hope it is, because if it's not, then that's a severe problem. Oh, please don't tell me we also broke drones. How the fuck did we break so much with one change? There's no drones hatching. Unbelievable! Drones are supposed to be automatically building and they're not. I guess I'm going to build them manually, but fuck me. That we did one change last night and we broke everything. That's unbelievable. Wow. Yeah, so we have like an auto worker system that's supposed to leave you a little bit extra lava. Just so you don't need to worry too much about not having lava to do things. But clearly, something has gone horribly wrong with it. Yeah, I built 3 drones myself. But the thing is, you shouldn't have to do that. You're not supposed to have to build the drones yourself. It's kind of part of the whole point of the exercise. It's building drones now, so it seems to have resolved itself. Don't you have VC? I don't know what you're talking about. Venture capital? What?
Queen's ready. Find a hatchery to inject.
Now, Queens will auto-inject hatcheries. That was a change that was actually in the game a while ago. Cool, cheese. That's neat. So much for explanation. Don't worry, the game will not get rid of cheese. Cheese happens. What I probably should have done there is actually just go and build a bunch of spines. That would have probably done the job. We'll try this again and see if that drone issue replicates itself. Oh, fuck's sake. Need to actually look for the right thing. So we have a 1.3 of Ascension Ire right now. Which, for some reason, is busted? We'll see what Odyssey's doing. If it was an Odyssey-specific problem. It may have had something to do with the, we've got a on and off button for auto-building workers. Could have something to do with that. No, don't. Why would you start the game on your own like that? Probably needs a client restart. Alright, there we go. Yeah, probably needs client restart. The moment the dev team is like trying to fix all the morph stuff because that's breaking multiple races. So that didn't go particularly well. Needless to say. We would have caught that. But leaks are leaks. Next time, remember to actually play it like, oh yeah, there's an opponent, and they might cheese. Alright. I think drones are working properly now. I don't know exactly what happened with that. It probably had something to do with the auto toggle, but I guess we'll find out. If it doesn't build drones here, which it's not. Oh, God. Oh, no, it is. It is. Right, okay, it's working. Right. That is working the way it's supposed to. Jesus God. It's weird. It's like, you do so much testing, and then everything just breaks. Oh, well, it is what it is. We have time to fix this. Yeah, they built the moment I went in. There's 2 more that have been built now, and then there's 2 more. The game deliberately paces it out so that you're not in a situation where you're left without lava. And if you want the game to stop morphing drones so that you've got enough lava to build pure units, you have this toggle right here, so you can turn it on or off. Which is a fairly important toggle. It will not spend all the lava. It will always leave at least 1. And obviously, if you have multiple hatcheries, etc., then you shouldn't be running into too many problems with that. It gets your drones out pretty efficiently, and once your drones are out, it's not going to overbuild them. It will keep track to make sure that you only have the number of drones that you need. So then you have all of your lava free for units. But if you need them before that, you can just turn that off, and then turn it on when you want it. Alright, queen's up. Good, good, good. So let me show you auto creep spread. This will be probably a more controversial change. Creep spread's a pain in the dick. So we wanted an option for people that, well, didn't want to do that. It is slower than regular creep spread, but you can enhance the speed by having an overlord nearby. You can see that little purple pulse there. It's a metastatic aura. And that's what gives you the ability to spread creep a little quicker. It's still a lot slower than creep would be if you were playing a regular game, however. So it is worth bearing that in mind.
You've evolved the swarm. How forward-thinking of you.
Alright, we should have some lings momentarily. But if you notice, I'm slightly overspending. So as a result of that, my stuff is building a little slower than it should be. So you need more drones out and all that kind of stuff. There we go, auto-inject is working correctly. Huh? Let's get ourselves another queen out there. There we go. Probably gonna get a 3rd hatch. And make sure I actually have enough stuff to defend it, more to the point. It's like, you look at that, it's like, oh, it's really tempting, but can I actually afford 4 roaches? Maybe. Looks like I can. There's not going to be any tournaments for this. Outside of casual stuff, there's just designed as promo. That will literally be it. It's not an esports game at all. It was never designed that way. It's never going to be. Alright, queen's up. So you can see the auto creep spread is slowly getting there. And if I really want to speed it up, then I need to have that overlord closer. So it'll do it. It does a good enough job. It's not great, but that's the whole point. If it was great, then that would be a little ridiculous. You also notice that you've got your stuff being automatically put into these control groups. There's now 8 control groups total. Because you don't need to control group a building anymore. There's really literally no reason to do that. So really it's more of a case of all you need to do... Oh god, we are spending way too much way too much gas right now. All you really need to do is use the tabs, and everything else can be done through this. There we go. So I got myself some units, so we'll go and have a little look, see what's going on over there. 3rd base is up. Probably need to get a queen there. If I recall correctly, queens are smart built, so if you build a queen, it'll build it at whatever Nexus needs it initially. Whatever hatchery needs it even. And then after that, it'll just build it wherever it feels like it. Let's look for some upgrades. Armor. Well, it's not really a UI-only mod. Lots of things change. I think also people vastly underestimate what actually happens when you change the UI in a game like this. Like, it changes the whole experience.
You have a new queen. Those hatcheries won't inject themselves.
Make sure we rally towards the front here. And make sure to move that Overlord. We wanted people to at least be a bit active with Overlords, like, completely taking them out of the game. Outside of using them as dropships wasn't really what we were looking for. So like, hey, you know, if you can use Overlords in a more active way, then that's probably going to be fun for people. Which I think the metastatic aura change does accomplish.
The other guy is attacking you. That hardly seems fair.
Gonna group the rest of my units. Do they got some more roaches in there in the mix? Let's get some speed upgrades as well. Would more tumors speed up spread? Yes. If you build more, if you actively plant more tumors, then yes, it speeds it up. Definitely. And in fact, like, it's not essential, but it's often a good idea. Let's say the autos creep is like not really going the way you want it to go, you'll probably want to manually place one. So let's say I want it to go this way. I'm going to place one here and then bring my Overlord back so that its aura can cover that, and then it's going to start spreading that way.
Mutation complete.
Knew we knew about taking these down. I can rally towards the front now with whatever... We can just probably bring in a bunch of links. Mass spending, we can afford it. We've been banking up quite a bit. So bringing in some extra links certainly isn't going to hurt. Not me, anyway. Get some more armor up. We still have plenty of gas. So if I wanted to, like, train some Hydras, I absolutely could here. It's more about having enough lava, really, than anything else. And you'll see, like, in the process, you know, this base has pretty much managed itself. It's got a queen there doing what it's supposed to do. Thankfully, this game hasn't broken, so that's nice. It's like, hey, the game mostly works. It's just we have some serious Terran problems at the moment. And all of those links have auto-rallied to the position they're supposed to be, and as a result can move around, surround, and destroy what's left of those immortals. Just like that. We can continue to rally to the front everything we've got. Want to get some more roaches in there? They have speed now. Again, we're not doing... There's no tournaments for this. It's casual mod. It's not designed for esports. We'll be doing something for promo with YouTubers, but that's pretty much about it. Designed for casual play with your friends.
Don't just stand there, shoot back.
There we go. Now we've got some Hydras in the mix. That should help a little bit. Things will bottle them in nicely. Yeah, if you want to play it, very easy to find on the arcade right now. Just look for Axiom. As I said, we're having a few problems. We're currently fixing them as quickly as we can. Zerg apparently worked just fine, so that's good. There we go. Can you play this with the AI? I wouldn't recommend it. The AI can play it, it just doesn't play it very well. You can if you want to get a feel for the game, but that's really about all you're going to get from it. It was never designed to be a single-player game. Yeah, unit HP applies to buildings as well. Takes a lot longer to kill building. That'll probably be tweaked as we go along. But that's fine. Tweaking balance and numbers is easy. We can do that in a matter of minutes. There we go. That worked pretty well. Someone had feedback about rally points. Any plans to create dedicated war models? Probably not. We don't want anything in this game that isn't in the main game. Because as soon as you start doing that, you start creating an environment where people don't understand what they're seeing on screen. Which is never what we were intending to. It's not a training mod. But simultaneously, we do want it to be similar enough to eSports for people to actually recognize what it is that they're seeing on screen versus what's being played. Alright, create another lobby. I'm gonna do Protoss, mostly because I want to figure out this rally point thing. This is a bit of live bug testing at the moment. Mothership Core was in the same control group as the rest of the flying units. Yeah, that's on purpose. It's a flying unit. If people want to do their own control groups, we have the ability to do that. You can turn off the auto control group stuff. You just right-click on it. There's a tip that tells you about that. But yeah, last I checked, the Mothership Core does fly, so it would be in the flying group. There's also a lot of situations where you're going to play an entire game and never have another flying unit other than the Mothership Core. But we wanted new players to have, to make sure that they knew exactly what was going on with that core and they could access it very quickly. Having it be in its own control group is one way to do it. Well, I don't have the feeling I'm about to get cannon rushed because the guy changed Protoss at the last minute. You never can tell. Protoss hasn't had a lot of changes, actually. Although one of the main ones is the fact that if you build next to a Nexus, the pylon aura massively increases in size. I'm going to build, as soon as I can, I'm building a forge. I don't trust this guy at all. We're not aiming to make the game more balanced. It's not the same game. It's a different game. But it is ultimately a game that simulates the Starcraft experience. Simulates the competitive side of things. The game looks like a game of StarCraft 2. It isn't. But it is enough for people to hopefully play it and understand what's going on if they tuned into an eSports stream of the actual game. Which, frankly, I think it does. It's really the whole point of it from the very outset. Yeah, cheers, Maxi TV. Yeah, we're fixing that problem actually as we speak. I don't trust this guy at all. So I'm like, oh god, maybe that's a little overly paranoid, but it's like I'm gonna put that there, and I'm just gonna do a forge fast expand. It would be just like me to get cannon rushed in a fucking mod demo stream. There we go. And it's cybercore. What's my cash like? Low, but good enough. And I can just like have a cannon there.
I must insist.
What we do need to do is have a better way of cancelling things. We were working on a form of doing it through this, but apparently we currently can't do that because the engine doesn't let you trigger certain actions through this kind of thing. So that might be something that we ask Blizzard, hey, can you implement that in the next patch? They did some stuff for us, actually. Being able to cycle through these tabs with the mouse wheel is something they did for us specifically. We have been working with them for quite some time on certain aspects of this. There we go. It's working the way it should be. Gonna move Chrono Boost there. Yeah, this is all tied to mouse wheel. That also means other mods will be able to use mouse wheel bindings. This makes it a lot easier to navigate. It's also like a game you can very much click. Some people will probably look at the hotkeys and be like, these hotkeys are wild. Well, they're actually a grid. They're deliberately designed to be lined up with the keys that are on your keyboard. I underestimated the number of units it was going to build, and that was really dumb of me. And I also didn't build a mothership core, which was even stupider. So maybe not the best idea I ever had.
Of all the places you could have warped it, your probes are under attack.
At this point, I don't necessarily mind losing too many of those. I don't even know if that's actually in range of the pile on there.
I must insist you warp in somewhere else. Your research is done. Don't forget the rest of it. You need more energy.
It's now a warp gate. Not that that's really going to help us a huge amount in this situation.
Fewer probes means more space for units. You can warp in there. Boss. Your probes are in a hazardous working environment.
I'm currently in the process of just trying to repulse cheese. Yes, people do cheese in mods, if you can actually believe that. That is a thing that happens.
They found your probes, and it's not going to be pretty.
What I could do with is a bunch more gateways. Or Robo. That would be fine too.
Your probes are under attack.
Just waiting for... It's like, hey, can this one warp gate get off cooldown so I can actually warp in some defensive units? That would be good.
Your probes are in a hazardous working environment.
It's like, you know... I'm pretty sure that this should have finished up by now. But apparently it's not. Well, hopefully he's very pleased with that. First I thought it was a giant waste of everyone's time, but hey. At least we know Protoss initially isn't completely broken, so that's that. Is that fixed yet? Or do I have... Oh, okay, cool. Ascension wire. No, it's not. Probably needs me to do a client restart. Do a little bit more Zerg. Wasn't really cheese per se, it was just a very, very early attack, which I did know was coming. I was like, hey, he's going to cannon rush me because he changed Protoss at the last minute. Possibly. At least Protoss early game works, so there's that. I'm also just avoiding Terran at the moment, since it's what the major bug is currently in. Once we can get that fixed, we absolutely will, as quickly as possible. Our dev team's on the process of fixing it. And also fixing the Protoss rally bug. We really did break so much with that one change last night. Oops. So be it. I don't think the devs have a chance to talk right now. They're a little busy trying not to die. Trying to fix all of the problems that we managed to introduce into the game. We really did break it so very much. Scary how easy it is. I want to say, well, hopefully have that fixed within the hour. This is an example of the overspending, by the way. It's like, I'm spending just a little bit too much. Once I have a few more workers in the mix, that'll probably be sorted. Who did the testing on it? A shit ton of people. We had a closed test. Well, I mean, we've been testing for months. But ultimately, that doesn't help if you introduce a change the night before, then have to launch a day earlier than you're supposed to, and then everything breaks. So, yeah, there's that. But it is what it is. And we will fix it. As we have with pretty much everything else. There have been, let's just say, more severe problems that we've managed to accomplish. We have broken all sorts of things lately. No. Yeah.
Your forces are taking damage. Your Zerg have evolved and started a progressive folk band. The other guy is attacking you. That hardly seems fair.
Yep, he's encountered the orbital command bug. I know. It sucks. We're trying our best to fix it right now. I'm sure as hell not happy about it. No, there's no monetization. It's a mod. Why would there be monetization? Auto worker building happens regardless of your income. Well, no. Workers are free, so... That was just a solution to that. It's like, well...
Whoa,
we want auto worker buildings, but we don't want it messing with the economy. How do we do that? Well, how about we just make workers free, then? I thought, well, that's insane. You can't do that. Well, we just did. I don't view the decision of building units or building workers as an important or enjoyable one. So I took it out. Let's think about a lot of this, like, people have different opinions as to what is important in a game of Starcraft and what isn't, and what they value in a game of Starcraft and what they don't. And a lot of that really is down to personal preference. And the thing is, the people that have the preferences are the people that are probably already playing Starcraft. And they're not necessarily the people we're actually looking to get here. We're looking to get the people who don't play Starcraft. We're looking to get the people that have tried Starcraft and were too intimidated by it. Of which there are a shocking number of, by the way. There's an absolutely huge number of people that are scared to death by Starcraft 2. You see it on the forums all the time. It's like, oh god, no, that game's crazy hard. We can't play that. Or why not? What's in the way of people? And there's a lot in the way of people. Huge amount. They're like, well, I think there's probably some stuff we can do about that. Game's scary. Let's see what we can do about taking out the bits of the game that are scary without gutting what the game is in and of itself. And some people will disagree with that, and they'll say that, you know, the stuff that was changed is too much. And that's fine, they're entitled to that opinion. But ultimately, the people that don't play the game anymore are the people that thought that that wasn't too much. In fact, they may have stuck around if they had an alternative. So I made them one. And the hope is that, okay, maybe you love the idea of StarCraft 2, but you were scared to death by it. Well, maybe there's something we can do about that. I think we need some more Banelings. I think Banelings is a really good answer to this. Lots and lots of delicious banelings. 3 bases. I really need more gas, though. And, like, honestly, I don't anticipate a position where people that already play ladder would ever play this. Unless, of course, they were trying to play with a friend who is not really all that familiar with Starcraft 2. In which case, well, you know what, they may very well give this a try then. Because honestly, it's really hard to play Starcraft 2 with friends that don't already play Starcraft. Because it is a very intimidating game. Extremely intimidating. I was like, well, is there something we can do about that? Maybe. Maybe there is. You can see right now I don't have a huge amount of workers because I'm spending a lot of my lava. Which is fine. That's deliberate. You know, you still end up with those decisions later on in the game, even with the auto worker build. It's just initially you get a decent enough economy to be able to actually do something. Which is what we were looking to do with this. Just give people a helping hand to get started.
Try building that monstrosity elsewhere.
Infestation put up, and see what else we can get.
Mutation complete.
Well, we did good damage. I think we can leave. With what's left of the army. We'll see if he's got an expansion anyway. Are you going to make a video on the mod? Oh, there'll be plenty of videos. I don't know about that. There was supposed to be one for a day, but hey, that didn't happen. The problem I have with the leak, and the reason why we didn't talk about the game at all until, like, now, is that we wanted people to be able to play it before they actually made comments on it. And the problem when you have a leak like that is that, well, you can't do that.
Your army has encountered the enemy.
Which is bad, for very obvious reasons. Also, I really should have actually built some defenses here, because that Liberator is murdering me as a result of me not having done that. And some more queens as well. It was really our fault. Like, Squarespace kind of has this default set of page things. We put the splash screen page up, and someone figured out what those were and then posted it all over Twitter. So it ended up being on Reddit. And taking it down doesn't make a difference because of archiving. So, unfortunately, it was like, well, then we just had people speculating about the game, which is annoying. And we didn't want the game in a situation where speculation over something they have not played was going to actually dominate the discussion of it. So we decided, well, you know what, well, let's put it out today. I'd rather make it playable now than have like a full day of people just speculating on the game. Because I was like, well, this won't work, and this won't work, and it's like, you ain't played it. You don't have any idea what's going to work and what isn't. Oh, you ain't going anywhere, Sonny Jim. No, 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 no. No, no, no. None of that, none of that. Go, go, my infestors. Yes, lovely.
Queen's ready.
Okay, queens are all sorted out. That should at least... Oh yeah, we got good numbers of queens. Okay. Plenty of lava on the way. How's our cash flow going? Looking pretty good. We're up to hive. We are. We can think about lurkers. That's probably not a bad idea. Lurker den's busted as well. Yeah, that's a transform upgrade bug that we're getting fixed at the moment.
Evolution complete. Mineral field depleted.
Sneaky, sneaky, sneaky infestors. Yes, yes. We have lovely gifts for you. Yes, we do. Some banelings probably wouldn't go amiss.
The other guy is attacking you.
Have some infested turrets. And some banelings, yes.
I don't want to alarm anyone, but the base is being attacked.
Is it?
Minerals. Idle workers are
Well, that's a problem. Probably needs some more units.
Drop everything. Your units are base is under attack. Your drones are becoming an endangered species. You're engaging the opponent.
Have infested turrets. I mean, infested turrets were a lot stronger than that.
Your drones are off to that big hatchery in the sky.
Well, it's turning out to be a fairly epic game. I like it.
Your army has encountered the enemy.
With some lurkers. Let's get our army back together. Okay, what did we lose?
You are fresh out of minerals at that base.
Fairly large amount of stuff. There you go, queen back over there.
Mineral field depleted. Out of minerals. Idle workers are so untidy.
Get
The
that
other
sorted
guy
out.
is attacking you. That hardly seems fair.
Alright, let's get these together. And let's get
That
some
guy's already
lurkers. Okay, that's that done. That's good. Get some more queens out. Need to rebuild our hatchery. Maybe think about static defense. Since we really sort of dropped the ball on that one. Might have to manually build some drones. I think we probably have lost quite a few of them. Thankfully, that's not too hard. Since they don't really cost anything.
Out of minerals. Idle workers are so untidy.
Alright, we've got some lurkers and some infestors.
God save your gracious queen.
Those are always
You're
good to have.
engaging the opponent.
That's a Thor. That's going to make a right mess of things. Will also make a right mess of things. Would it be that if I'd actually landed it? It's a little embarrassing that we didn't. Fucking Thor drops. Thor drops, of all things! Disgraceful, really. Just disgraceful. What I need to do is actually go in there and attack him. Also, gas mining all over the place. I need to do something about that. Okay, we have some drones here. That's good.
Guys are exhausted. It needs a long nap.
Let's get our army over there. Thinking like some swarm hosts would be good, but I don't have a huge amount of cash for that, really.
That's it. You're maxed out.
Well, I'm at 200 supply. That's pretty rare for me. That should do the job, hopefully. Alright, our base is down. Good, good. Everything on the way as well.
Wow, you mined all those minerals already. Look at you.
To reposition our lurkers.
Mineral field depleted.
They have a lot of detection there. Okay. That will be a problem. as all my infestors die horribly. Well, I'm thinking the swarm host plan isn't a particularly bad one right now. It's just a case of getting enough gas to actually make it work. Which we should be able to do.
I remember when this was all minerals. Now look at it.
Get some lings in there. Adrenal glands! They will be helpful. This is turning into a rather enjoyable game.
Now extra terrifying.
So how much is this for a swarm host? Not as expensive as I thought.
What a glorious achievement.
Get that out of the way. Well, I managed to make it a late game and we haven't completely broken it, so I guess that's a start.
You're at max supply. Send your army to its death.
A lot of it's probably in drones, honestly.
Mineral field depleted.
So you know the answer to that? Spine crawlers.
Try building that monstrosity elsewhere.
Always the answer to
Build that
everything.
fleshy mass of terror somewhere else.
You know, we do seem to be lacking things that could shoot up. That's in itself a bit of a problem. So maybe having those, probably not the worst idea I've ever come up.
Whoa! Those drones had families!
Fucking liberators. Alright. It's like, all my drones! Those are not in any way expensive because they're free, but you get the idea anyway.
They're ruining your carefully planned army has encountered the enemy. Can't build any more units. That's it. You're maxed out. I remember when...
I was gonna say, I'm fairly sure swarm hosts cannot shoot up.
Wow, you mined all those minerals already. Look at you. Your drones are becoming an endangered species. Drop everything. Your units are getting killed. I don't want to alarm anyone, but the base is being attacked.
We finally got rid of that thing. Nope. It's like, reposition it.
You're actually taking damage.
Oh dear. I'm gonna pull those back. It's like, I'm trying to work out where all my supply actually is now.
The base is being attacked.
It's like, well, it doesn't seem to be in drones. I don't have much of an army.
You're engaging the opponent.
There we go. Let's get the rest of my army together.
Your base is
Yeah, I have a bunch of hydralisks and lurkers borrowed in the center of the map. That's probably got something to do with it. Oh, my economy got pruned pretty hard there. Well, I do have... Has he been saying 120 supplies the entire time? Good lord. Of course, if he'd had the tip system on, he would have known that, because it tells you that. But never mind. Oh yes, I also apparently have 48 idle workers. Right, well, I mean, at least I have found the reason as to why all of my supply is elsewhere.
Base is under attack.
By... Oh, it's a widow mine, probably. Oh, here we go again.
Your base has some uninvited guests.
I wish these could shoot up and they can't.
Your drones are off to that big hatchery in the sky.
I just need some corruptors, because I am really tired of this.
Your carefully planned economy. Those drones had families.
Well, at least he's pruning my drone count down a bit.
They're ruining your carefully planned economy.
I got some overlords and overseers, so I can actually scout.
The enemy is pruning your drone count. The other guy is attacking you. That hardly seems fair. Your base has some uninvited guests. Base is under attack. It's the fight you've all been waiting for.
Oh my god. That's a lot of stuff. Good lord. Also, letting it all blow up my stuff in the process was probably a very bad idea, all
Your
things
base
considered.
has some uninvited guests.
This is a giant mech army of doom.
That geyser is fresh out of gas. Guys are empty. Time to move to your expansion. The Zerg, now 20% more terrifying.
It's like, what do I do? Probably over brood lord thingies. Yeah. Yes. Those would be good.
Do you think that
Spire's done. Okay, thank God. Get some corruptors out. Get those liberators out of the way.
Your base is under attack. We're all gonna die.
Want to have some flying units.
Wow, you mined all those minerals already.
Get those
Look at
bastards out of the way.
Massacre, bloodbath, carnage, butchery. Was your
We're gonna
base
need 'em
built into
anyway.
the ground part of the plan?
Let's get those units on that.
Idle workers are stolen.
Try and see if we can kill a base with this.
Your drones
Need
are off
great
Your
Aspire.
army has encountered the enemy. Your base has some uninvited guests.
Da-da-da. I should be able to clear that
Those
out.
drones had families. You're engaging the opponent.
Morph that to an overseer. Head that
Drones
one over
have
there
many
as well.
natural predators. Look, here they come now.
Kill the Liberator. Thank you. Although, like, screwing with this production is probably not a bad idea. They'll do a fair amount of damage with that. Production is super important in this mod because it's where you get most of your supply from. Alright, do we have Great Aspire yet?
Those explosions
getting there.
here, that's your base being flattened.
I think I pissed him off.
The other guy is attacking you. That hardly seems fair.
I don't know if I've got enough. In fact, I definitely don't have enough to actually
Mission complete.
build this, but hey. We lost another base in the process.
Your creep tumors are under attack.
That should hold them up for a little bit. There we go. And once our broodlords are done, which as you can see, because we overspent, is taking a little while. They're all sort of stuck here at the moment. So we need to make sure that we're mining more gas in order for that not to be happening anymore. Like, for instance, I don't know, here, or any of the places where gas should be mined.
Your drones are off to that big hatchery in the sky.
An overseer. There we go. Oh, hello. Okay, now we should have enough gas income coming in so we can actually finish our broodlords.
Drones have many natural predators. Look, here they come now.
I have to
They're
swing
trampling
those
all
around.
over your beautiful garden of creep tumors. Was your base burning to the ground part of the plan? I remember when this was all
We
minerals.
are going to
Now look
kill
at it.
you eventually.
Those drones had families.
Let's get some new hatcheries up.
Try building mineral field depleted. Your creep tumors are under
I'm sorry,
attack.
is that creep tumor
Build that
actually
fleshy
blocking the
massive
expansion?
somewhere else.
Pretty sure it's not supposed to work that way.
If you don't protect your drones, how can we trust you with the fun stuff? Those explosions you hear, that's your base being.
Yeah, that ain't gonna work.
Your base is under attack. We're all gonna die.
It's attacking so many different angles. Which is causing a lot of problems, needless to say. I think I would just build a bunch of lings at
Can't
this
build any
point.
more units. That's it. You're maxed out.
Let's make sure we can get rid of more of his bases. Push forward with what we've got left, otherwise we're going to be very, very dead very, very quickly.
Your forces are taking damage.
Okay, well, I don't know why that would be.
Your Zerg are now extra terrified.
It's like, you have 12 Cape Campbell units.
Your army has encountered the enemy.
Because if you don't... we may have encountered some sort of weird late game bug, which I'll probably have to pass on. It's like there's no actual reason why you shouldn't be able to build units at this point.
You
It should
are
work
fresh
just
out of
fine.
minerals at that base. You're engaging the opponent.
If you've got the money,
Your forces are taking damage. That unit has mutated into something even more unpleasant.
it should work
Out of
fine.
minerals, idle workers are so.
Might be missing prerequisite tech. I mean, I did blow up a lot of it. It's hard to say without seeing his side of the replay.
Out of minerals, idle workers are so untidy.
Like I say, I would not know at this point. Well, all the replays are saved automatically, so that's the kind of thing we will look at.
Out of minerals, idle workers are so untidy.
Stop build faster when you're in positive production. Build times are the same. We don't make any quicker. Alright, well, that's that. Alright, well, we obviously have quite a lot to fix. Shove money and no. Yep, we created a lot of workers. Lots and lots of workers. You may have overspent, it may not. Like I said, if it's a super late game bug, it would have been hard for us to encounter that. We did test late game, but it takes longer to test late game than it does early stuff, so... might be some weird, super specific set of circumstances, I don't know. Hard to say. Well, I'll wrap it up for the time being. I said, we need to try and fix as much of this as possible, so we're going to get off and do some testing on the changes that we've put in to hopefully fix this problem. Thanks for watching. If you want to play it yourself, just bearing in mind there may be some issues with it right now. There probably will be. AxiomMod.com, and you just search for Axiom in the arcade lobbies section. And you can try playing. It may or may not work. Mostly it works, but there's definitely some issues. We're going to be trying to fix that throughout the night. So there should be hopefully some regular updates coming out. Like I say, we did not really want to release today. We wanted to do final testing today, but that didn't end up happening. Such is life. Alright folks, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.